episode of the Football Show. As we're going to talk about yesterday's Premier League game and also today's games from the Premier League and also other leagues as well. So let's get started. And obviously, we're going to talk about the Champions League draw. Yeah, I just remembered it now. We're going to talk about yesterday's Champions League draws and Europa League draws. Let's start with that, of course, because there's obviously some very, very good games to look forward to. One of them is obviously, it's a great game, but obviously it's very, very boring, and it happens every single year, which is Real Madrid against Manchester City again. For a reminder, I mean, since 2020, Real Madrid have faced Manchester City in every single knockout stages in the Champions League except 2021. And in 2021, they could have faced even each other in the final, because I remember City went to the final by beating PSG, and the next day Real Madrid had a chance to beat Chelsea to go to the final. But Chelsea beat them in the end, and obviously Chelsea won the final against City and won the Champions League. So, like these two, they always face each other. They faced each other even this year in the league phase, and they're gonna face each other yet again. You look at the games. First of all, first game, Galatasaray against Liverpool. It's a very tricky game for Liverpool. Very tricky game. Galatasaray are a very good team. Obviously, they're going to make it difficult for Liverpool. Obviously, that home leg that Galatasaray have, if they want to beat Liverpool in 2 legs, I think they're going to have to make most of what they do in the first leg at home. Because I think in the second leg, I think Galatasaray's record away from home is not that great. Whereas Liverpool, I mean, they've not been that great. However, they finished in the top 3, top 4 in the Champions League, even though they've not been that great this season. And I expect Liverpool to qualify for 2 legs against Galatasaray. It will not be easy because Galatasaray are a very good team and they've got very good players. But I expect Liverpool to go through over 2 legs, especially if they'll play at home in the second leg. Newcastle United against Barcelona. Yeah, I think Barcelona should go through over 2 legs. Away, first leg, similar to Galatasaray approach. Newcastle have to make most of their effort in the first leg at home, because I think it's going to be very difficult for them to do something special in the second leg at the Camp Nou, in my opinion, for Newcastle. So, yes, quite similar to New Galatasaray Liverpool. I think Barcelona at home in second leg, they should have a very good chance of qualifying for the last 16. For the quarterfinals. Atletico Madrid against Tottenham. I expect Atletico Madrid to go through. This Tottenham side is very, very bad. I mean, Atletico have not been that great this season. They've been inconsistent. However, when Atletico Madrid are at their best, they're better than, for sure, they're miles better than Tottenham. The problem is that if Atletico Madrid don't showcase their best efforts as they did against Real Madrid 5-2 and Barcelona 4-0. It's difficult to predict who's going to go through, but I would still lean into Atletico Madrid, even though Tottenham have the second leg at home. Tottenham are not that great as well. So, I think Atletico Madrid should go through over 2 legs. Atlanta against Bayern Munich, yeah, I mean, Atlanta are a very good team. The way they came back against Dortmund during the week was amazing, but Bayern Munich, with the quality that they have, I think they should go through over 2 legs. So, they're at home in the second leg as well, so I expect Bayern Munich to go through. Bayer Leverkusen against Arsenal, quite similar as well. Leverkusen have to make most of the efforts in the first leg at home. Arsenal, they should go through second leg at home. I expect no problems from Arsenal's side, so I think Arsenal should go through to the quarterfinals. So I think Arsenal have a very good chance, in my opinion, in that tie. Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea. Very, very good game. Obviously, this is the same 2 sides that they face each other in the Club World Cup final last year, and Chelsea came out on top, winning 3-0. I don't think what happened in the Club World Cup final last year doesn't mean it's going to happen the same. Obviously, Chelsea will think that they can beat PSG over 2 legs. Even though PSG are the European champions, and PSG will be looking for revenge, let's say, and motivation. And Chelsea will have an advantage though, because they're going to play at home in the second leg. So this is something that Chelsea might have an advantage over PSG. However, Chelsea defensively, they're very poor, very poor. Going forward, they've got good players who can step up. However, do they always step up? Do Chelsea always take their chances? No, as they showcase against Burnley and Leeds. So PSG, I think they've got more quality players, especially attack. They've been struggling this season, PSG, but by their high standards. But I expect PSG to go through over 2 legs. So I think PSG should go through in that one. Bodo Glimt against Sporting Lisbon. I mean, what an amazing tie that one. But it's a difficult one to predict because Sporting Lisbon are a very good team. They finished in the top 8, which helped them to qualify for the last 16 automatically. And you know, and obviously they're fighting to win the Portuguese league title. They're not top of the Portuguese league, but they're fighting. They're not a lot of points behind Porto. They're in a fight with Porto and also Benfica, even though they are so many points behind, but Benfica are unbeaten in the Portuguese league. And Sporting will have an advantage over Bodo because they're going to be at home in the second leg. However, as we said before about Bodo Glimt, the great journey they're in, the way they competed against the big teams, the likes of Atletico, against Man City, against Inter. I think Bodo, with the quality they have, they can do it over 2 legs. However, because Sporting Lisbon are going to be at home in the second leg, that's why I edge just over Sporting Lisbon. I know it's difficult because Bodo Glimt, with the quality that they have and how well they compete against the big teams, you're like, okay, you should go for Bodo Glimt. But because Sporting Lisbon are home in the second leg, that's why I will just edge on them. So yeah, and the fact that they also finish in the last 16 automatically, they qualify for the last 16 automatically without having to play in the playoffs, and also they one of the teams that beat PSG, I think, as well. So yeah. Real Madrid against Manchester City. Yeah, another clash between these two, as I said before. Who should go through for 2 legs? I mean, yeah, Real Madrid have been obviously not that great, and they've been average. This Real Madrid team have been average this season in terms of their performances. Man City defensively, they've been they were very shaky. For most of the times this season. However, going forward, they've got quality players who can step up. And City will have an advantage over Real Madrid in the second leg, which is they're going to be at home. However, I remember City at their peak when they had that also 2024, and Real Madrid still beat them away from home. Even though when Real Madrid drew 3-3 in the first leg, we all thought, oh yeah, City done, finished. They're going to go through to the second leg at the Etihad, and they have a strong record. But Real Madrid beat them. So yeah, Real Madrid have not been that great this season either. However, they're Real Madrid still, and they can step up at any moment in the Champions League. However, one of the problems that Real Madrid might face is Kylian Mbappe going to be fit and available for the game against Man City in the first leg? Because I think if he's not fit for the first leg, I think, you know, Real Madrid have to make most of their effort in the first leg, of course, because they're at home. And Bernabeu in the Champions League is a fortress, right? So I think if Kylian Mbappe doesn't play in the first leg, then I think City should go through over 2 legs. If Kylian Mbappe is not going to play in the first leg. But if he's going to play in the first leg, then yeah, I think it's 50-50 in my opinion. So I'd expect Kylian Mbappe to play in the first leg, if I'm being very honest. So yeah, I think Real Madrid will. I know City are at home in the second leg, but Real Madrid in Champions League, they always click. They always step it up. So that's why I'm going for Real Madrid. Listen, I might be wrong. City might step up, but I think with City's defensive frailties, I think Real Madrid will fancy their chances as well. That's my opinion. I know City beat them early on in the season 2-1. I think that was in December. But if you remember that game, Real Madrid had a lot of great. They were causing problems defensively for City, and City were very shaky at the back. So that's why I'm going for Real Madrid over 2 legs. So yeah, and I expect Kylian Mbappe to play. If I'm being very honest, I expect him to play in the first leg. So yeah. But you look at not only the last 16 draw, you look at the bracket overall, and you have to say this is a great draw for Arsenal, because if you look at the left side, at the left side of the bracket, I mean it's it's a nightmare because you know not nightmare, but it's like so many giants in there, like Chelsea against PSG, then you've got Galatasaray against Liverpool, so Liverpool could face in the quarterfinals against Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain, and then you got the other side where Real Madrid or Man City, one of them wins, they'll most likely face Bayern. So that side is yeah, is a very, it consists of so many giant teams who've won Champions League as well, likes of PSG, the current champion, Chelsea, world champion, Liverpool 6 times winners, Real Madrid 50 times winners, Man City obviously a very big team and just won the Champions League a few years ago as well. Bayern Munich 6 times winners as well. So yeah, and then you've got the right side where it could be a very good draw for. It's a very good draw for Arsenal and maybe Barcelona, maybe. I mean, you look at Arsenal. If they beat Leverkusen, they're going to face Bodo Glimt or Sporting Lisbon. That's no problems for Arsenal. And then you look at the other side where Newcastle, Barcelona. If Barcelona beat Newcastle, they're going to face Atletico or Spurs. You know, Barcelona. If Barcelona face Atletico in the quarterfinals, that means Atletico will face against Barcelona in the second leg at home. So I think if Barcelona was, let's say, at home in the second leg at the quarterfinal, I would fancy Barcelona qualifying for the semi-finals. But because Atletico are going to be at home in the second leg, at home, if they beat Tottenham, that's why it's difficult to say in that part. And let's not forget, Atletico Madrid, they beat Barcelona 4-0, so in the Copa del Rey. So Arsenal, if you look at Arsenal's side, and Arsenal, they will most likely play away from home in the first leg of the semi-final if they get there. So that means they're going to play at home in the second leg. So I think you look at, if you look all in perspective, I think Arsenal have a good chance of qualifying for the final. If you look at all perspective, they have a good chance of qualifying for the final. But obviously you cannot underestimate Barcelona. You cannot underestimate Atletico Madrid as well. So yeah, and Newcastle, Tottenham, no, sorry. So yeah, both of them, they've been a great journey, but they're not going to keep this for forever. So yeah, I think Arsenal have a very good chance of qualifying for the final. And then you look at the left side of the bracket, I mean, it could be anybody. It could be Real Madrid, it could be Man City, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, PSG, Liverpool. Difficult to say. For sure it's not going to be Galatasaray or Atalanta, with all due respect to those teams. So yeah, but it's a very fascinating Champions League draw, not only last 16, also the overall bracket. So I'm really looking forward to the upcoming knockout stages of the Champions League for the next couple of months. Europa League last 16 draw. You've got Ferencváros against Braga, Panathinaikos against Real Betis, Genk against Freiburg, Celta Vigo against Lyon, Lille against Aston Villa, Bologna against Roma, Nottingham Forest against Midtjylland, and Stuttgart against Porto. I think if you look at the two teams who has the best chance, the 3 best teams who has the best chance of winning the Europa League, I think it's Porto, with how well they've done in the Portuguese league. Roma, they've also done quite well this season, and Aston Villa as well, obviously with the experience of the quality manager that they have in terms of winning the Europa League, Unai Emery, and also the Aston Villa have a very good squad as well. So I think the best 3 teams in the Europa League, I think, are Roma, Porto, and Aston Villa, in my opinion. So yeah. Now let's move on to the games that I was alluding to, that I was going to talk about.